Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back here to the Launchpad. This is our third weekly night hangout, and we still don't have a name for it, so give us some ideas in the chat. We're hanging out tonight talking about everything space that's happened in the last week, trying out some of your Kerbal builds, as well as some of the mods we've got, and just, hanging out and answering your questions and the topics that you want to chat about. So just say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. It was a very exciting day with the Blue Origin announcement, and then we saw that very successful flight of Starship SN15, which we were very excited to finally see launch and land for the first time. But I'm going to get Kerbal pulled up here. Again, if you have questions, send them in to us in the chat. Use the hashtag AskTLP, and that will make sure that we see your question come in and we can answer that on air here for you. Lots to talk about, but we're going to get Kerbal pulled up here. I've got a Starship just on the pad while we were waiting to go live here, making sure Kerbal was all up and running tonight. But we're going to pull up one of the crafts that was sent in to us from our friend Marcus that he has made and sent in to us to make an attempt, and we'll see how it goes. He has not fully tested it. I have not even seen it yet. I had a little teaser preview of what it was just in a screen capture, but we have not made an attempt of this yet. So we're going to hang out here for a little bit, just wait for a few people to join on, and we will get started. And we got Marcus and Messier. Welcome, everyone. We're going to pull up Marcus's craft here because I know he's been anxiously awaiting seeing my reaction to his craft. I've been anxiously waiting to see it because apparently it's quite large, and I need to add some support structures to it. Hey, GameStrom, welcome. So we're going to pull it up here. I know he labeled it TLPN craft, I think it was. So we will find that here, or ship, yeah. And we're going to pull that up here. So let's see what Marcus built. I have not seen this yet, so we'll see what happens. Oh, it won't load. Ooh. So we're obviously missing a mod that I don't have that you do. We're missing the NFV fuel adapter. A few different ones. So what we'll do is we're going to save that one till next week. The anticipation will grow more, and we'll give it another attempt, or maybe we'll do it a surprise nightly hangout later in the week and give that a try. But we'll try out a few other ones. We can start off actually with that Starship, which was sent in to us by Gura. I'm not too sure. I'm probably messing that up. If I am, I apologize. Which was a Starship vessel here. So we'll give that a launch attempt here. And what a day. Starship SN15 finally launched. And not only launched, belly flopped and landed. Now, we didn't see the whole flight because the camera's cutting out. But we did see a couple new camera feeds. One of which was really interesting to see, was actually on the fin. So they had a camera kind of right on the corner of the fin here that we could see. Actually, I believe it was up top shooting down that we were able to see here. So a very interesting part there. Check action groups. I will do that here. C1. Hey, C1, how's it going? But yeah, as you join in, let us know where you're watching from. If you have questions, let us know. Yep, the gears are working there for it. And I don't believe this has a capsule compartment in it. So we're just doing an unmanned Starship test here. You'll notice I do have the cheat window open. The goal is that we don't use that, but it's there to save a flight should we need to for it. So we're just going to start off right off the bat here. We'll have ignition and liftoff. Now, we'll try to do sort of our version of a 10K hop as we do this here. But I won't be gimbaling down and like shutting off an engine and that stuff there. We'll just slowly throttle down all three. But there we go. We're just going to update this here to make sure that you guys can actually hear the Kerbal. I'm going to switch this over here and do a quick switch on there. And we should be all set now. Oh, well, we long blew through our 10K test, I think. But that's okay. All right. SN15 is still standing. Yes, it is. Israel. Very exciting. So we're going to go into a belly flop here. This is not very accurate of what today's test is. But that's okay. We'll do a belly flop here. Actually, we should still be pointed vertical as we reach apogee. And then we should do our kick over. But yeah, a very exciting day as we finally saw a Starship launch and land for the first time here. Yeah, we're about 3 times as high as we should have gone, but that's okay. This will be probably actually kind of close to what the next test we might see is. There we go. We'll go back into our belly flop now. And this is where we will slowly descend. Click 4 and 5. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Hey, look at Gerardo. Gerardo, that's amazing. I did not know we could do this. We can actually fly properly. That's amazing. And we got a suggestion here from Alec. I have a name suggestion. The Launch Party. Actually, I like that. That's fun. That's a good idea. We'll have to write that one down. We've got a couple of them, and what we'll do is we'll put up a poll probably later this week on YouTube in our new community tab, because thank you all to you. We have passed 1,000 subscribers. Long past it. We're over 1,300 now, and we have some opportunities to do some other parts of YouTube. So excited to start doing some polls here. But yeah, that sounds like a good name here. Now, are there any other buttons I should know of, Gerardo, for making this kind of attempt landing here? We might have to do this more than once. Let's see. And we're going to, with 1, 2, and 3, you toggle the engines. What? Yeah, you do, don't you? Kerbal's not happy. We're gonna. Oh no, we're out of fuel. See, this is why we have the cheat menu on. Oh, are we gonna do it? Oh no, we're coming over buildings. Oh no. I might got it, but oh no, we're gonna hit the VAB. Oh. We just winged it. Okay, we're gonna try that again. Now that we know all the controls. Ooh, we pulled an SN11 here. That's okay. Too much horizontal velocity. This is some Doctor Who stuff. Just like a little bit. Oh my, it's gonna just keep going probably for a little bit here. At the center of the starship, you need to enable the fuel and oxidizer. It's like the header tank, but on the center. That was close. When you belly flop. This is fine. Practice makes perfect. What PCs? So I am doing on an iMac, actually. I'm going to be doing a studio tour here probably in the next, I'm hoping, week. And I will go through all those specs that we have in the studio with the lights and the equipment. And then we'll probably be making some bigger upgrades in the summer. We're hoping to do some upgrades there, but I will go through that. It is a spec'd out iMac. So it's not an entry level. But they did just release some new upgrades there as well. So yeah, we'll take a look here. We're just going to warp to daytime because that's easier. So in here, I have to enable header tanks. Where is... Oh, like this tank is like the header tank. Where do I enable... Oh. Oh. Hmm. Just talking with our Discord, trying to figure out how to get that other craft to work here tonight. Where do I do the cross transfer, Gerardo? Gerardo, I am assuming, is the creator of this craft. So really well detailed. I just want to make sure that we're able to fly this correctly. I've always wanted to try Kerbal Space Program. I love it. I spend way too much time on it. But it's fun. It can be relaxing or it can be very stressful depending on how you choose to play it. The tank on the top of the reaction wheels, when you belly flop, enable it. So when I flop, I need to click on this. Oh, and click deploy. I'm assuming that's what you mean. Okay. Good to know here. We're going to try this again, shall we? And ignition. And there we go. We got a nice liftoff. Oh, he says no. Okay, how do you enable it? Oh, I should turn off infinite propellant so we can do this properly. Ooh. And we'll throttle down. And engine 3 is off. Throttle back up. Click the tank and then and we'll throttle down. That. You just said that. Click the pin message on the top right corner of the menu. Yes, thank you. Good idea there. I'll keep that there. And we're going to throttle down as we're coming over to our apogee point, and we'll do a kickover. 4 and 5. And we'll belly flop. There we go. Have a good night, Israel. You're just joining us. Welcome. Of course, I'm Zach, the host here at the Launchpad. This is our third weekly night hangout where we're trying your crafts. We're currently trying out Gerardo's craft. If you have a craft you want to send in, join our Discord. The link is in the description there. And you can send those in and be tried on a future one. So do that. We'll hit deploy. Oh no. Ooh, I killed it. Oh no. we're gonna restart that one. And I know we had a question in our Discord earlier, but also had um, some questions here in the chat. Deploy it like an FTS. Yeah. Okay, good to know. We don't want to deploy for it. But Golden's asking what's going to happen now to SN15, and I think that's something all of us are wondering. This is very much this is the first time since SN well, the SN7s, but SN6 that they've had a starship land and have to do something with it, other than clean it up into some scrap bins. We are waiting to see the crane head out for it. We were hearing some rumors from some sources by SpaceX that they are targeting to do SN16 in the next 2 weeks. Not at all next week, but the week after. So we probably will see rollout of SN16 sometime, maybe the end of this week, but probably early next week. And it'll start its testing campaign for it here. But we're going to do another attempt here and try not to FTS Gerardo's craft. Now, I want to find, you say enable it. Where do I enable it? But as we're trying this out and I just figure out some of the programming on this one, let us know in the chat if you have any questions, what you thought of tonight's or today's SN15 Starship flight. And love to hear your thoughts and what you think is going to happen with SN15 now. Do you think they're going to hold it and study it all and then go straight to SN16? Do you think we'll see SN16 launch and then possibly SN15 again? Are we going to finally see a second Starship launch? Let us hear in the chat what you're thinking. The middle tank at the left of the sliders. The middle. The middle tank at the left of the sliders, there are some red buttons. Click on them and check if they are green on the belly. Sorry, we're gonna figure this out. Middle tank at the left of the sliders. Inside the main tank is another. Oh, inside the main tank is another tank. There's and Starship. Here's the second tank. Wait until the belly flop, and then click the red tanks on this tank. In here. Okay, the small tank. Where's the small tank? Not seeing a small tank. This little tank here. This green one. So this Kerbal 9 S3, that one? Oh, so we just have to change the, is it change the flow priority? Ah, okay. Okay. And we would just have to bump that up to the up. Okay. We'll give this a try again. Sorry about that, everyone. I'll give this a try here. Ignition and liftoff. I do know we saw a comment from Josh. Having a surviving fleet of test starships is a game changer. Even if the designs are obsolete, they will still have precious Raptors. Very true. The fact that they'll now be able to refurbish those Raptors and try another attempt with them, maybe even on a different starship, is huge. Oh, there we go. We're going to throttle down. And there's our first engine. Throttle back up. And we'll throttle down again and our second engine off. As we come up to that, well, we're going to go for 10,000 meters, which should be that 10K here. Now, we might be just a little short of it, but on the left of the sliders, there are some red buttons. Click them on the belly flop. Oh, I see. Thank you, Gerardo. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. There we go. I see. I see you. There we go. Makes more sense now. Unfortunately, we might be going towards the water. So this is what we all expected to have happen with SN8 and 9. But that's okay. An attempt is an attempt. And then we'll try it again now that I actually know what I'm doing. Come on. Oh, oh. Oh no, we're going back up. Come on. There we go. That's still savable, right? It's a buoy. And oh, we just lost the bottom. All the raptors are gone. Oh no, they're not. I don't know what. Okay, we lost the bottom fins. Oh, we'll give this another attempt here, and as Josh recommended, glide it home. But that's a great build, Gerardo. Star Sea Dragon. Yeah, exactly. That's a really good build there, Gerardo. Waterland. Yup. We were just missing our, of course, I still love you. 10 out of 10, best landing, no oil rig required. Yeah, come on, Elon. You don't need an oil rig. So we're going to go back in here, get the tank, because this in here, there's a tank. See if I can find it again. There it is. That's what we want. Oil rig bad. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, ignition, and lift off. I do hope that we see night launches again. I know the local community doesn't like them, but I think they'd be really nice to see just every once in a while. And throttle down, engine 3 off, throttle up. Now that I know how to operate this, Gerardo, I will definitely use this in another Starship stream. And we'll come up. Oh, we're going to be close to that 10K mark. We're power slided. And 10K. And we'll start the belly flop. Ooh. There's the belly flop. We'll turn on our end, the fuel tank transfer. We're going to turn here just so we can try to glide it back home. At least close to it. I am going to use RCS just to do our radial out. Just it's a little bit more accurate. And we want to make sure we give this the best possible attempt here. We're coming down. I think I activated last time about 1,500 meters, 2,000 meters. Oh, here's 2,000 and 1,500. Engines on. And we're coming in. Oh boy, we really. Here's our landing pad, a slanted building. We'll just power slide past this building. Coming for a real. Oh no, we're gonna be close on out of fuel. Come on, down. It is. Oh no. Okay, I'm putting infinite fuel because we're making this attempt. Oh! There we go. Who needs their bottom legs? Well, oh, we definitely lost a leg. Oh boy. I mean, that's better than the I'm not sure which was better, the water landing or the land landing where we bounced off the hangar. So we're going to try that one more time. And we're going to nail this. Gerardo deserves it. But while we're doing this, send in your questions or topics you'd like to chat about. We had the Blue Origin announcement earlier today. We had Starship today. We have the HLS contract craziness. Lots of different things happening in the space world. We have Dream Chasers announcement that they're going to be able to land at Kennedy Space Center, which is a really big announcement that we're going to see that runway become active again, which is very exciting. And active for actual commercial flight. There we go. We'll do this another time here. Thanks, Bill. Mm-hmm. I'll throttle down here and turn off our first engine. Throttle down and turn off the second. Coming up to that 10K point, so we'll throttle down. And belly flop. And now we will activate those fuels. I think we're going to do that flip at the 1500 again. That seemed to be enough. And we're going to give this an attempt here. And we'll bring this down here. Throttle down a little bit. And gear down. Come on. Come on. Come on. Keep coming down. Touchdown. A little bounce. A couple bounces. But it's in one piece. Yay. And as Marcus says, give it about 8 minutes. Because most likely it'll pull a SN11 and blow up. But we or SN10. Yeah, SN10. But there we go. It has landed We will warp to a sunrise, because why not? There it is. That's a great craft there, Gerardo. Great job there. That was cool. Definitely gonna do that more. You can see off in the distance this crazy rocket on the launch on the runway here as well. So but that was awesome. Sweet. So we'll leave that there, and we'll probably hop on over to the tracking station here. Save the game so we don't lose that, and we will switch to another vehicle. We might give that another try here tonight and see. But I believe we have. Where is it here? Which one's on the runway? Fly there. Definitely awesome build there, Gerardo. If you guys have any builds that you want to see me try, let me know. This was a crazy build I was working on that was taking one of Marcus's other builds, which was his Mun Plus rocket. This is kind of my second one. This whole big rocket is just to launch this little capsule on the top. I'm thinking we might upgrade it here and at least put like a Crew Dragon or something on it. But we'll give this one an attempt. We want to make sure we actually launch with our engines. Check our staging on the pad. Marcus is working on a bingo sheet that we can use for when we're playing Kerbal that you guys can use to see how many things do I do in Kerbal. Oh, let me go around. There we go. We'll pull these down here so we can actually have our proper staging. This should make it. It's got a bunch of vectors and a bunch of other ones. So we'll have ignition there and activate the vectors, which means we're definitely going to fly. And there we go. And we're moving. Now I wonder, could we put a starship on top of this and launch it? Try not to burn up as we burn through the atmosphere here. Oh, there, going for a little ride here. There we go. And there's our very high orbital flight. Almost up to actually what the record would be for what Inspiration 4 is going to do. But we'll get a view. And we do have Zelnand on board. Now we'll see if we can maybe have enough with these SRBs to get into some level of an orbit. I don't think we will, but we'll give it a try. A little bit wider there. This is a good splashdown, though. We can now separate that away. We're coming in a little too hot. Just a little bit. But that's okay. So we'll try another craft here. What should we try out tonight? Let's see. If the lunar lander isn't equipped for returning to Earth, how will the crew get back? So the whole idea with lunar lander is that the crew will not launch on lunar lander. They will launch on Orion. That's kind of the whole concept around the lunar lander starship, is that it will launch empty all the time. It'll launch with a full cargo, but it'll launch empty, at least on its first mission, and then go to lunar orbit, and then it'll meet up with a Crew Dragon or an Orion or any number of other vehicles that we could see, including possibly normal starships. And then we would see transfer of crew either directly capsule to starship or through the gateway station. And then lunar starship basically becomes a taxi between orbit and the surface of the moon for it. That's all it's designed to do. The crew will always have to re-enter with another vehicle for it, but that's also why we won't see hundreds of lunar starships. Like for NASA, we might see one or two type of thing. Once they're fully fueled, a starship can wait for 100 days in lunar orbit without its crew after its initial launch and then stuff. So it opens up a lot of questions on like what's crewing going to be like in the moon. Is it going to be something that we leave and come back to, or are we going to do rotating crews that there's, you know, almost always someone there, like we're seeing with the International Space Station now, where we're overlapping by about a week the crews. So lots of more questions, unfortunately, as usual, more questions than answers. But it'll be something we'll be watching for there. So that's why we will see more regular starships than we will ever see lunar starships, even prior to trying to go to the moon. So let's see if any of these shuttles will open. I don't remember if they do or not. Don't believe they were. Yeah, they weren't wanting to do this. Absolutely, Dragon. Good question. If you guys have a question, feel free to send it in. We'll be answering those for the next little bit here. And stay live for another little bit as we attempt a few more launches of some other crafts here. Maybe try to get a satellite or two into orbit. And yeah. Maybe we'll end with a Starlink mission, which generally does not like deployment on my game, but we'll take a look and see. Yeah, we'll try to launch one of these sats here, though. If you also haven't yet, make sure you check out a couple videos we released today. First, we've got you the full Starship SN15 flight available. We've got Starship SN15 flight where we've removed all the frozen parts so you can watch just the flight. And also, we have the Blue Origin announcement. We just released a news update for that as well, just before we went live here. So make sure you check out that. Do astronauts on the ISS get to pick out their meals and snacks? They do get a little bit of, like, they can put in what they would like. It's not, it's pretty limited on the options they have. They get to help pick like their menu of what the options I guess they could select. Like we do know when Soji Noguchi went up, he had some different rices he brought up for Thanksgiving and stuff there. So they can bring up some stuff. There's also the cargo missions that, you know, maybe they could send up a special thing. But the biggest thing is the food that goes to the space station is supposed to be good for months, if not years. It's supposed to be that type of thing. Even though they're not going to need it for years, that's the type of food they send. It needs to be stable for it. They don't get a set menu every day on what they're going to eat, so they do get some variety of what they, you know, would like to eat. I know in one of the videos a few years ago, they were talking about how, you know, when a delivery comes and they get new food, it's normally a rush to get some of the favorites. And I want to say like lasagna was one of them or something. There was a few that are like they really like, and then there's some others that you're like, oh, great, yum. Like the mushrooms that we saw Chris Cassidy use in his toilet demonstration, which you can see in our toilet video if you haven't. But yeah, they do get a little bit of feedback to give a little bit of feedback on what they would like to bring with them, but not a ton. Good question, though. That little bit of beeping that you're hearing, that is Discord. So if you'd like to join our Discord community, the link is in the description. It's free to join. You can share your craft, share your projects, connect with me directly, and lots of different things there. If you're wondering why I'm looking to my right, that's where I have the chat tonight. I've got Kerbal on my main screen, and you'll be able to see all that in the studio tour coming soon. Ooh, that's interesting separation strategy. Slowly getting into an orbit here. And we're coming up on first stage separation. Oh. Well, I don't know what caused that. Our satellite survive at all? Nope. That's yeah, that was a Kraken attack, I think. As we lost complete satellite there. Do you think they will ever refly SN15 after many tests and studies, or do you think that they will scrap it after the tests and studies? That's. I'd like to see that. I would like to think that we would see SN15 fly again. The fact that it's the first one to ever do it, maybe not. Like if we think back to SN5 and 6, it was very similar. We thought we would see them fly again, but we didn't. They got what they needed from those ones. Now the fact that we are closer to what will be the operational version of Starship, a little bit closer, maybe we'll see them attempt again. We might not see that maybe until 16. They'll do some testing with 15, look at retrofitting the boosters, because that's a big question is, or not the boosters, but the engines. Like, how did the Raptors survive? What are they like? Because the Raptors were the biggest issue we've really had since the beginning. So it'll be interesting to see how they acted and stuff like that. So I would hope so. But if knowing what SpaceX has done the last few times, probably not. It'll probably be either scrapped. I mean, it'd be really cool if they saved it and put it on like a pedestal by Boca, um, being like, this is the first Starship that ever successfully, launched and landed. I think that'd be really neat. I think a lot of people would want to visit that. I hope they don't just scrap it. Just like, the early Mercuries and Apollos. Like a lot of stuff was kept. And it'd be nice to see that, even if it's not in necessarily a museum, even just sitting outside by the high bay or something. Maybe they'll park it next to Starhopper, but maybe down the road by the orbital launch facility. So you drive by Starhopper and then you drive by SN15, and then you drive up to your pad and you board your Starship. I think that'd be really neat. We'll have to wait and see what they do, though. Yeah, I would hope they do something like Starhopper. But we're hoping that the Kraken won't strike again here. I had changed one thing, and I think that might have been the issue, is I hit this stage separation before I did the fairings. So that might have been why we had that kind of FTS moment. Hey, Run, welcome. Good to see you. So there goes the fairings. And there's stage separation and ignition of our second stage. That's more like what we like to see. Zoom in a little bit more here so you can see what we're looking at. And we will be deploying here from just in this part. We don't actually deploy this second piece here, but we're going to complete our orbit. This isn't going to be a low Earth satellite. Good questions. Keep them coming. There we go. And we're going to we're going a little higher than we thought, but that's okay. Nope. And we're just going to warp over to here because we want to finalize this orbit. And then we might try one of Marcus's other builds that we mentioned last time, but we forgot to pull up, that may or may not be functional. I have seen him fly it once and get it to orbit, but only once. So we'll take a look and see if we can give that a try here. We're going to finalize this orbit. Game Champ, you should live stream a stock plus DLC science mode playthrough. Ooh. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, we could do that. We could start that next week's nightly stream, and kind of go through the process and see. I did start doing that with our Discord a couple months ago. We started that, and then the channel really started taking off. So we took a little break from it, but I think that could be really great, fun thing to do. There we go. We have finalized our orbit. Pretty circular. Orbits are never perfectly circular, but we will stage there. There's our little ion thrusters, and we will go and extend all extendables. And there we go. And we should aim that in, and there we go. We have a deployed satellite. And if we switch, we have the booster, and I think we burned a little too much of the fuel. Ooh, okay, we almost hit our satellite there. That's okay. So just because we want to be good, we're going to turn on infinite fuel, and we're going to deorbit this here because we don't want to leave garbage in our orbit. There we go. When astronauts are on the ISS, when the astronauts are on the ISS, when something like a presidential election is happening, do they get to vote? Absolutely. It is something that they can do. It is a process. Basically, they have to file all the correct paperwork, just as if you were going to be out of town or out of country to do a absentee ballot. Different than a mail-in, but similar idea. So they do that, and then they don't mail up a ballot to the space station and you sign it and they send it back down. It would take too much time for it. So what they do is they set up a secure call with one of the astronauts. I believe they said this last time they do it in their quarters, so in their like bed department, and they do a call down to a official polling representative at mission control, and they say who they want, and then that person marks the ballot and actually then mails it in for them. Depending when they were launching, if they could get the absentee ballot prior to their launch, then they would do it themselves. But if they can't, like on the last election, they would do it through mission control. But there is quite a process for it. It's something the U.S. government, really wants to make sure that they give that right to their astronauts to have their voice, have the chance to have their voice heard and included in that decision. Just pulling up another vehicle here. Give it a try. We're going to try the one that I mentioned of Marcus's that may or may not be functional. And that is the Mercury Atlas. So this is a Mercury built by Marcus. You will see why I question if it is flyable. It does a lot of power sliding. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. So I'll load that up here. If you're interested at all in helping the channel more, try not to mention it too often, but you do have the option of becoming a TLP member. You can do that over on our Patreon. The link is in the description there, and there are some perks to behind the scenes on Discord, some exclusive streams we're going to be doing in the future as well, discounts for our shop. There's even some exclusive merch on some of the tiers, really cool bomber jacket that you can pick up. So invite you to take a look there. It starts at $1.50, and all of that, of course, goes right back into the channel to make sure that we can bring you the best possible coverage. So invite you to take a look at that. So we're going to give this a try here. So see, you hit ignite, you launch, and then you separate, and then it power slides. So you have to like correct. So like it's going to the right. It wants to pitch to the right. So I have to constantly be pushing it to the left. Now it's too far, so I have to wait a little bit. And I had to try to push it back again because it's pitching by itself. This is not a balanced rocket. And it's turned in here. And I see a question that came in from Dakota. And once I get through a little bit of this, I will answer that because this one rocket you have to watch very closely or just quickly zoom to the side. You can ask our Discord community that that has happened many times. No Kerbals were hurt in all those times, though. There was the emergency escape tower that was activated. This is probably the smoothest attempt I've had so far. Knock on wood. We're tipping over there. Let's see. Come on. Of course, the one time I'm going to nail this is the first time I try it on stream. I promise. I will show you. If I nail this, I will show you what has normally happened. Because I know our community likes seeing things go boom in Kerbal. So we'll make sure we get to show that to you. Oh, we're sliding a little there. Oh. And we're going to break through the atmosphere here. And I believe Marcus said we can stage at this point. Correct, Marcus? Yeah. So we can now stage. There go those two engines. So now we're just with our one. And now we're going to keep this going here. This is further than I've ever gone. Now we're going to start to pitch over. Ooh, not rotate. I want to pitch over to try to get our horizontal momentum to start to pick up. But we don't want to go too far because we don't want to lose full control here. Ooh. Coming over, and we're under 600 now for periapsis. I want to pick up that here now. And we are actually across the line. We're just, Marcus is telling me now that we need to just pull back our throttle till we're a little closer to our apoapsis, and then we'll go full throttle again, get us into an orbit, and then we will stage at that point. Coming up on our apoapsis, so we should be putting up our throttle here, and it's going to be tight. We may or may not get into a full orbit here, so we'll take a look and see. It's going to be tight. He is letting me know that the abort tower can be used to finalize the orbit, because that is actually how we will separate the capsule from the rest of the missile booster. And we're coming up on that apoapsis here in just a moment. Do we have TikTok? We do have a TikTok. I've posted a few of our flash updates on there. I've been playing around with it, seeing what will be the best option. for how we're going to use it. But as we come up to our apoapsis here, we will fire our engine. But we do have a TikTok. It's, I believe, the Launchpad official. I can check in a moment. And fire our engines. Ooh, we're going to have just enough. There we go. We're in orbit. But I want to quickly go back to a comment I saw from Dakota, just because I want to make sure I had time to do that while we wait for this just orbit now. Dakota says, a friend asked me, when you say follow us here or there, is it just you or do you have a team? Really good question. I say we and us a lot. It's just from some previous jobs I had where we were very much a very large team that was working together across Canada. So used to just kind of, and globally even, for one of the jobs that really used to just that, kind of saying that. But for the Launchpad specifically, some of the time when I say follow us here or there, I'm meaning like follow us, like the Launchpad us, kind of like the organization. And then sometime, I am referring to the team. I have my earpiece in right now for our Discord, which is something you can join in the chat with. But in our Discord, we do have Marcus, who's really our first kind of person on our team, who's done some live streaming with us, live from Kennedy, and hopefully we'll be doing some more stuff in the future, in the later summer and the fall, and into the future. So we want to build a team. Here at the Launchpad, we try to cover everything space flight, space engineering in the future space, and that is way more than just one person. And I know I've got skills, and I know other people have got skills, and other people that are in better locations that it makes sense to build a team. We don't want the Launchpad just to be me. We want it to be a community of people that are really passionate and have skills to be able to just share the joys and excitement of space. So that's why sometimes I say we or us rather than I. I try to say I sometimes. It is my channel. It is my brand. But I want it to be us. We're a collective. We're all team space. Us all watching right now want to see space go further. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be playing a Kerbal video game. We wouldn't have sat for 5 hours watching Starship sit on the pad today for, a 7-minute flight, as tank watchers and stuff. So that kind of answers that. But it's kind of a mixture of me and we. But hopefully it'll be more we into the future as the channel is able to grow for it. We got a question from Luigi. Hey, why in the SN15 official stream, the presenter said we were preparing to light 3 Raptors, but in the end, they only lit 2. Why that happened? I believe what they are trying to do now is they prepare all 3 to ignite. They ignite the 2 that they want. Should one of them not ignite, then they can ignite the 3rd and try to catch it at the last minute. That is what I believe they're doing now, because we did see them once ignite all 3 and then shut one down that they didn't need. And then after they shut one down, one of the 2 remaining failed and they couldn't ignite that 3rd one again. So I think rather than igniting all 3, shutting down and hoping the other 2 hold, they're now prepping all 3, igniting 2. And if they need to, one fails, they can activate a backup. I believe that's what is happening. We don't have a direct answer on that, but based on what we've seen, that is why. Okay, awesome. Glad that makes sense, Dakota. But good question. Please feel free to ask questions about the Launchpad. We want to be, as transparent as we really can about it and what we can do. So obviously, it's a business as well, and that's, we have to operate it that way. But we want this to be a community of people. That's why we have a Discord. That's why we do these weekly hangouts. That's why we have Patreon. Once the pandemic's over, we'd love to plan, meetups in different places in Canada and the US and, maybe eventually internationally. Who knows? With Rocket Lab and different things starting up, it'd be really exciting to, really bring this global team space community together. And where's better to do it than right at the Launchpad? So we'll do that here. So we're going to keep going with this craft that is in orbit. Now, Marcus has let me know that when I stage it, it's going to rip it away from the booster, so I have to stage twice to make sure that we don't go too far into orbit. So we're going to stage and stage. There we go. There goes the booster and the escape tower long off into the distance, 33 kilometers away. So we are here, and we're going to do some, we're just going to time warp some orbits because we can. And we'll do some orbits. There's 3 orbits, so that's what actually happened. Now we're going to aim retrograde here, and we're going to attempt to come back in. I just want to see. Oh, we're almost right over Kerbal. We're going to see if we can do this right now. We might be a little late, but we're going to see. Coming back in here. What are the names for the weekly hangouts we have come up with? Great. Ooh, did we have enough? Okay, we are coming back in, but we're going to come back in the middle of Russia. That's okay. We're still coming back in. This is actually now a Soyuz mission. Surprise. Let me get those pulled up here, Dragon, in just a moment. We do have a few suggestions that have come in, or if Marcus might be able to do that. Just from the first stream, we had a couple suggestions. So Marcus is going to pull that up for us here, Dragon. In a few minutes, we got rid of that engine as we don't need it anymore. Off it goes, a piece of space junk. I know we had the launch party, the landing pad, the space cave, and the chill pad are ones I thought of. Ooh, interesting. Space cave's cool. The chill pad. I saw chili pad the first time I read that. I'm not sure if I'm hungry or something, but the landing pad's cool. I know some people have mentioned that that should be our sister channel that we should start up here. So it might be a good idea to get that going. Maybe one day. We got those. I know we've got the launch party, which is kind of a neat idea. You guys have name ideas for what we should call these weekly night hangouts? Let us know in the chat. Love to hear your ideas. As I said earlier, we want this to be a community, so we want you guys to be the one that names it. And not saying that it's the name will stick with forever, but we might do more than one of these a week. So we'll take a look. I do know Marcus said that we do have to spin occasionally just to keep the parachutes from not being destroyed. Worst case scenario, I can turn on the infinite heat, but I don't think we should need it. Yeah, we're coming through the atmosphere just fine here. A nice sunrise as well. There we go. And the temperature starting to cool down as we are coming in here, passing through 20,000 meters. There we go. We made it through re-entry. This is when communications would be restored. And this is when we could deploy our drogue chutes, slowing us way down here. Yeah, we're coming in slowly but surely. We'll do a little time warp. We'll deploy our main chute now. Now they all are still reefed. We should see the drogue chutes unreef here, or dereef in just a moment. And then followed by the main very shortly after. There's the drogues. And the main, I believe, is at 1,500 meters. Or maybe 1,000. There goes that one. We can now get rid of our drogue chutes. And come down just on our main. There's the ground coming in here. And touchdown. There we go. I don't know how I did that. I've never been able to do that on Discord, and I've tried this shit probably 40 times. But we did it there. Tonight on the space show, we have Rick with us. Sorry, I had to make it sound like a game show. I don't mind that, though. Tonight on the launch pad, that even that works. Or the launch pad tonight show, or lots of options there. What we'll do is we'll make I'll actually just do that right now. Why don't I do it now? We're gonna head on over and we're gonna make our first post. We're gonna do a welcome community post, and then what we'll do is we'll make one where you guys can send in your submissions, and we'll do a poll maybe over the weekend, and then we can announce the name of the show next week when we schedule the event. So Marcus is just going to drop into the chat here some of the names we've had previously. So we had the weekly Space Jam, the landing pad, mission debrief, discuss, and relax. Ooh, I missed that one. That's a neat idea. I actually really like that one. Got a few ideas there. Let us know. We'll upload those name options over to the Launchpad here, and we'll do some polling to see which ones you guys think will be the best option here. But I think we're maybe going to wrap it up there for tonight. Oh, actually, we're going to do one more flight because it's the 60th anniversary. Well, depending where you are. Yesterday or today, still for me, May 5th, was the 60th anniversary of Alan Shepard's flight. So Marcus was letting me know that we should end the night doing an attempt of that mission here. Looks like the game may have broken. There we go. We'll try to go in here. Sure, we'll hire some more astronauts. Why not? And we'll go into the VAB. We'll try to get our game back here. There we go. We're going to try the Mercury Redstone. Another build by Marcus. And we're going to end the night on this one. We're going to save the big craft for Marcus for next week, right here on the soon-to-be-announced weekly night show. Soon-to-be named one. But we're going to end this on the 60th anniversary of the first Americans' flight to space and the first successful launch and landing of Starship. My game is having a day. And there it goes. So I think we're going to possibly just end it on that note, since Kerbal doesn't seem to be in a good mood right now. But we will attempt that Mercury flight. The next stream will start off with that. But that is true. That is very true. But we will be back here, of course, on the Launchpad with more news updates and flash news updates, I'm sure, over the next week until we have our next weekly night stream. Stay tuned over on our Twitter to stay up to date with everything as it happens in the space. Make sure you've plugged in on Discord. It's free. Connect with me and the rest of our community and share your ideas and your builds there. If you want to see me fly some of your crafts, you can send them there. Follow us on Facebook. Check out our Patreon. Check out our shop. It's still launch day, so you can save 10% off everything in our shop. All the links are in the description. The promo code is capital launch day, all one word. It gets you 10% off everything on there, and all that goes back into helping the shop. But thank you for joining us earlier today for our Starship coverage, hanging out with us tonight as we tried out a few different crafts there. Finally had a successful flight of that Atlas rocket from Marcus, and we're going to call it a night from there. You've been watching the Launchpad. My name's Zach. This is the Launchpad signing off. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you soon.